Hello viewer, hujambo. Welcome to this GTN Nursing Services where I, Grace the nurse, talks about mother and child health care. We are on our running series whereby we are learning about a child who is going through the process of adolescence. And we already covered the expected outcome in a girl child when the process of adolescence begins. We already realized that it takes 2 to 5 years for one to become stable when this process begins. So we are on part B of the growth, of the growth part, whereby we are learning how maturation of some body structures and their function changes the characteristics of a child. So today we are talking about the boy child who has just entered the adolescence stage. So what is our learning objective? Our learning objective is that by the end of this learning session, the viewer should be able to distinguish arrival of manhood in a boy child. And number 2, the viewer should be able to list the potential support or roles of a child who is in this stage of development. That is the parental care. The viewer should be able to list the expected roles from a parent at this stage of development of his child. So let's go. So we are told that unless otherwise, when a boy child is born, it is the mother who pronounces the gender of the baby. Unless otherwise, when a baby is born, it is the parent who pronounces the gender of the baby. She is expected to be audible enough so that everyone in the room affirms to her findings. Yes? When she is pronouncing the gender of the child that she has just delivered, whether through normal operation or normal delivery or through an operation, if nothing else occurs, she's the one who is supposed to pronounce the gender of the baby, and she should be audible enough for everyone who is in that room to affirm to her findings. And again, we are told that it is the role of the assistant midwife who receives the baby after the baby is stabilized to do a quick head-to-toe physical examination or assessment to the child to rule out any birth disorders. Yes, a child can be born with birth disorders. So when the baby is born, we usually have an assistant midwife who, after the baby is pronounced the gender, receives the baby, stabilizes the baby, and does a physical examination from head to toe so that he or she can rule out any birth disorders in the newborn baby. We are told that in case she realizes, she should report the findings immediately for a plan of action to be taken. So when the assistant midwife assesses the baby from head to toe, in case she realizes any birth disorder, she should report immediately for quick action to be taken or a plan of action to be designed. Among the findings that she can find includes what is called undecided testes in a boy child. This can be both testicles, that is the right and the left, having not decided, or one has not decided. What do we mean by the word undecided? We'll see as we continue. We are told that undeciding is hanging scrotum with no glands, or one gland is missing on palpation. So among the findings includes undecided testes in a boy child It can be one testis or both, that is hanging scrotum with one or no gland on palpation. A bit technical there. So we are told that these two glands are located in the middle of the body of at the junction of the thighs of a boy child. The testicles are two glands which are located in the middle of the body at the junction of the thighs in a boy child. These glands remain small and inactive until the approach of adulthood or puberty between the ages of 13 and 15 years of age. So when the midwife does the palpation, she must confirm that the two glands called testicles are available in the hanging scrotum of a newborn baby. In case she does that palpation and they are not available, this is when she should report immediately for a plan of action to be designed. And we are told that when these glands are available, they remain inactive until the approach of adulthood, that is at the age of puberty, 13 to 15 years of age. When they become larger and they begin to function. Remember what we are talking about. We are talking about maturation of some body structures, which makes some changes in a child, whether a girl child or a boy child. For a girl child, we already covered. Now we are covering for a boy child. We are told that the functions of the testes when they mature are two. The functions of the testicles of a boy child when they mature, the functions are two. Number one, they secrete a chemical substance, that is a hormone, called testosterone, which circulates through the body in the bloodstream. So when they mature the testicles, one of their functions is to produce a chemical substance called testosterone, and it circulates throughout the body when it is in the bloodstream. Number two, the function of testicles is to produce male sex cells. Okay? Clear? When the midwife did the test, assess the child from head to toe, she must have confirmed that the two testicles are there. When the child reaches the age of 13 to 15 years, remember we are talking about adolescent child, these testicles start functioning, and they have two activities that they have to start doing. Number one, they have to start secreting the chemical substance or a hormone called testosterone, which circulates throughout the body through the body blood stream. And number two, they have to produce the male sex cells. Let's see the function number one. When the testosterone hormone is produced, what happens to the other parts of the body? We are told that when the testosterone is produced in a boy child, it stimulates the body changes, including one, broadening of the shoulders, two, developing of heavy muscles, three, developing of a deep voice, and number three, growing of beards on the face, armpit, and the pubic area. We talked that when we talked about girl child. So there is a place we mentioned that there is, in development, there is when a girl child and a boy child part ways. So parting ways, it is in the body structures. We have seen the testosterone, what it is doing to a boy child. It is broadening the shoulders. It is contributing to the developing of heavy muscles. It is contributing to the developing of the deep voice and the growing of beards on the face and on the armpit and the chest area. Number two, we were told that the testosterone, when it is produced, it also makes the child to start producing the male sex cells. Note, testicles do not produce sex cells during childhood. They wait until the stage of puberty that is 13 to 15 years, when the male sex cells are produced in tremendous numbers. What? Male sex cells are produced at this age of puberty in tremendous numbers. We are told that there is a natural provision by which mature male sex cells are eliminated from the testicles from the boy child. So as long as they are being produced in tremendous numbers, there is a natural way that these male sex cells get out of the boy child. We are told that the beginning of this elimination indicates a boy's child body is developing normally. A fact that should be accepted casually. That is, the beginning of this elimination indicates a boy child is developing normally. A fact to be accepted casually. That is, paying no much attention to it, since it is an indicator of arrival of manhood. We mentioned manhood when we were starting this running series. So we are told that the beginning of this elimination indicates a boy's body is developing normally, a fact to be accepted casually. That is, not paying much attention to it, since it is an indicator of arrival of manhood. Then we are told that, however, a boy needs to be reassured that this process is nature's provision for the future task of becoming a husband and a father. Yes, and therefore it should be guarded and preserved. This one needs a special class for baby boy. Just like we ought to have a special class for baby girls, so that we talk these things in details. But what we are being told is that this boy child should be reassured that this process is nature's provision for the future task to become a husband and a father. And therefore, it should be guarded and preserved. Again, he should learn to master his again, the boy should be told to learn to master his desires rather than to allow them to control him. Okay? And then this type of self-discipline is beneficial to a young person. Any act of indiscipline may result in formation of a new life. You remember we talked about a new life in a girl child? Yes. This is where now we are being told that any act of indiscipline in a boy child, and I think also in a girl child, may result to formation of a new life. This is because growth spurt catches everyone by surprise. Remember what we talked about the ovaries in a girl child. Now we have talked about testicles in a boy child. They produce minute material that produces a new baby. And this is why we are being told that any act of indiscipline may result in formation of a new life, as growth spurt catches everyone by surprise. You remember when we were told about the task that should be guarded and preserved? Yeah, this is where the class needs, so that these children are told how to preserve this nature's provision of being a father or a mother in future. And this is whereby we are told that this is when everyone develops a mental picture of himself at this age of adolescent. At this age, when the body organs which had been dormant starts functioning, is when also a child is having time enough to develop mental picture of himself or herself. Is it clear? Is it complicated? Yes, this is whereby we said when children reach at this age, they ought to be given a special class so that some caution can be done on them how to manage themselves at this age. In the next clip, we are going to see how the parental role is very important at this age of development. There are some things that a parent should be able to learn about their children, and there are some actions they ought to take. Thank you. Hope it is clear. See you in the next clip. Remember to subscribe, to share, to register for this class, and comment where necessary. Thank you. Bye.